I do. I fish the Ohio Bass Nation. I fish the ABA series, and I'm the weekend warrior, just like a lot of you guys out there are. So every now and again, I'm fortunate enough to get a check, but the majority of the time, I'm just going out there to have a good time and catch some fish. What I'm going to talk to you guys about today is topwater fishing. This is a technique that I always wanted to get really good at, and didn't realize the quality of fish that I could catch because I would throw it and I wouldn't do very good. And I watched a lot of guys do really well, and said, man, how do I do that? Because you see them blow up on the water, and it's just, to me, it's my favorite way to catch a fish. So one of the first things I'm going to go over is just your standard buzzbait. Just everybody knows I cut the hooks off, so hopefully nothing gets hooked up here. But I think with choosing the buzzbait, what I like, and this is a Booyah buzzbait that I do throw pretty religiously. I buy it right now here off the Bass Pro shelf, and it's got a little bait clicker on it. So when it comes to the water, it's beating on this buzzbait to make a little bit more noise, and it'll help kind of attract the fish a little bit. And I basically try to stick to two pretty basic colors, and I might add a third in because I think that sometimes we end up buying a little bit more than we need. So I like to get a white buzzbait, and I like to get a black buzzbait, and then I also like the Sexy Shad colored buzzbait from Strike King that they have out there. So the cool thing about a buzzbait is you can kind of buzz it along and run it right across the log or anything like that and not really get hung up. So you just find some structure, throw it out there. And a lot of times, a lot of guys have a hard time keeping that bait above water, keeping it up on top of water. So the type of line that you use and is really key on making that bait stay up on top of water, and having a good fast retrieve reel like a 6.5 to 1 or a 7 to 1 reel will keep you up on top of the water and not doing so much work. So what I've got on here is braided fishing line. I think it's Suffolk's. I use a lot of Suffolk's braided fishing line, but BPS also has a really good braid that they've come out with that I've been using. I've had some pretty good success with their stuff. Or you can use just your average Berkeley tri-lane monofilament. So, just kind of buzz along the top. And then with that braided line, see my hand slipped off the reel there. With this fast action reel, I can get it right back up on top of the water really, really fast. I typically like to throw a buzzbait on a rod that I can get a lot of distance with, because I like to cast it really far and cover a lot of water. So I'll throw this on a 7 foot, or this right here is a 7'6" Veritas that really just does the trick, and it's got a lot of backburn for a hook set. So if I want, I can just buzz it right through, throw it over on some cover, and kind of buzz it right down the top of the cover. And it's usually a really successful bait in the morning time here in Ohio. So that's one of the techniques that you can do. It's really pretty simple. You just got to keep it up on top of the water, and the equipment that you use will just be key to that. So if you keep that in mind, that'll help you a lot with your buzzbait if you're having troubles keeping that up on top of the water. So one of the other things that I'll do with a buzzbait that I kind of have a little heartbreak there in this, because how many of you guys out there are tournament fishermen? Who's going to come beat me? That guy's going to come beat me the next time he's out on the water. What I like to do with a buzzbait, my most favorite thing to do with a buzzbait, is I'll get a smaller profile buzzbait and I'll modify it a little bit. So what I'll do is I get the smallest buzzbait I can find, and on the hook I'll put a white bitsy tube on the end of that. But with the keeper hook, I'll also put as a trailer a little treble hook. And you can try a lot of different things, but I really feel like that bait's been perfected. So there's a little bit of a tip there if you want to modify a buzzbait and do something a little different than what they're used to seeing. And I think what that does is you got the action on the water that the buzzbait's making, and with that bitsy tube trailer, looks like a shad's following up behind it, so it kind of looks like you got a little school of shad going there. And I've been more successful with that bait on a buzzbait than anything that I've done. And I think you can pick up them little Strike King bitsy tubes right over there in the plastic aisle and get yourself a little small buzzbait And if you fish farm ponds or you fish tournaments, go out and try that technique. I promise you, you'll catch some fish on that one. That's my favorite way to catch them on a buzzbait. The next technique I want to talk about up here is, this is a Bass Pro Shops version of a spook, or I apologize, it's a heading version of a spook here. And this right here just looks like a big cigar, kind of. But the cool thing about this bait is it's really easy to do a technique called walking the dog. How many people have heard of the walk the dog technique, right?